Hey guys, it's Tiffany again. So today I'm going to make my video about anxiety. Now, anxiety is an emotion characterized by an unpleasant state of inner turmoil, often accompanied by nervous behavior. It's also a feeling of uneasiness and worry, usually generalized and unfocused as an overreaction to a situation that is subjectively menacing. Sorry about that. My anxiety is going to cause me apparently to stutter today because this is the second time I've tried to do this video. The first time, for some odd reason, it cut me off just a few minutes into talking, and I lost everything because I'm new to this and I don't know how to edit and splice them together. Eventually, I will learn how to do it, but one thing at a time. So, for me, my anxiety has always been a part of my life. As far back as I can remember, when all my friends were excited to go back to school, I was dreading it because it was going to be a new classroom, new teachers, new students, people that I didn't know. So I dreaded it, but I hid it. I could control it. It didn't control me. So I guess up until 2014, my anxiety did not control my life. I controlled it. It was still there. Every job interview I went to, every new doctor's appointment I went to, every new thing that I faced, I dealt with anxiety. But it didn't control me. But as I mentioned in my previous video, things at a previous job really did a number on me. And all of a sudden, I could no longer walk out my front door without this complete and total fear of dread, to the point that I was crying uncontrollably. I felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And I just couldn't deal with it. And it got to the point that I literally had to take time off work because I could not walk out my door. So I took the time off work. That didn't help. Yeah, I was okay while I was at home. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do anything. It was fine. Home is my comfort place. Home is where I'm accepted with all my mess, all my craziness. You know, I don't have to worry about it. So it went on for months of me feeling this way. And I was basically just barely functioning as a person. I was on autopilot just so that I didn't have to face the anxiety. Which is not life. So, my anxiety is, now, 4 years later, I still have it. It's still very much controlling my life, but not to the point that it was. When I have to do new things, I generally have to have someone with me. Like if I'm going to a new doctor, going to do something that I've never done before, somebody has to be with me because I need, in a sense, a security blanket. I know, 36 years old and I need a security blanket. How crazy is that, right? Well, it's a fact of my life right now. I've accepted it because it's easier for me to just accept it than focus on that and cause me more anxiety because I have to have that. My mom is generally the person that I turn to when I need someone to go with me to face something. So, and you would think, okay, new doctor, one visit, next visit you're fine. Not the case. So not the case. I still get tore up when I have to go to the doctor's appointment, because what if the waiting room's crowded? What if I have to sit next to somebody? What if that someone decides they want to have a conversation with me? I don't like to talk to strangers. Which is odd because I'm doing this video, right? Yeah, no, I don't like to talk to strangers. It takes a lot out of me to have a normal conversation with someone. So most of the time I sit with my head down and I won't look at nobody. Or I focus on my phone so that they think that I'm, involved in something that, I'm unaware that they're next to me, which is so totally not the case, because I'm very aware that they're 2 inches from me or closer, rubbing elbows with me. I'm very aware of it. But for me, my anxiety comes out in the form of scratching, which I was just doing because of my anxiety, or I shake my leg, like uncontrollably. Like it's been said that if it was possible, my leg would pack me out of there. It was moving so fast at a full dead sprint. I can't focus very well when my anxiety is up, because all these irrational thoughts are running through my head. Like, well, right now, what if nobody watches this and somebody out there doesn't get the help that they need to know that they're not alone in focusing on or in dealing with anxiety or depression or a mood disorder? And they're left feeling completely and totally alone, because I've been there. I know what it's like to feel completely and totally alone dealing with these symptoms or these problems. Now, then there's also, what if somebody decides to be mean to me for making these videos? Well, that's probably gonna happen. Yes. But there's no point in thinking about it now, because I'm new to YouTube and I have no followers. Well, okay, I have one, but it's somebody that I know, so I don't think he really counts. But, it affects me in so many different ways. There was a festival a few months ago that I went to, and I took my stepdaughter and her half-sister. Well, her half-sister wanted to ride the swinging boat. Now, I guess you guys know, but it's the one that goes like this. Okay? I went to Kings Island when I was a kid all the time, because I had family that lived close to Kings Island. But beside the point. But that was one of my favorite rides. I was like, okay, I can ride this. No problem. Right? Yeah, no. Huge problem. Huge, huge, huge problem. Here I am, riding this ride, 36 years old, with a little girl who's 5, who is squealing in delight, and I am in pure terror. Everything in me not to scream, stop this ride, let me off of it. I was fine in line. I was fine until I when I sat down. I was fine when it started moving. But the minute that it drew me back and it released and it felt like the boat came out from underneath me, all hell broke loose in me. I had to get away. I had to get off the boat. Something bad was going to happen. It was going to break. We were going to go flying. The little girl was going to come flying out of the seat. I was holding on to her. And here she is giggling and squealing with, pure pleasure and delight. And I'm over here doing my best not to scream in terror. Terror. Ridiculous, right? Rationally, I know this. Because rationally, I know I loved that ride. That was one of my favorite rides. But my anxiety would not let me enjoy it. Now, it has kept me from doing a lot of things that I used to do. I don't go on family vacations anymore. This past summer, my family went to the beach. I didn't go because I didn't think I could handle being away from my comfort zone for a week. The fear of being away from home for that long of time terrified me. A new place terrified me. What if I got lost? What if I got separated? What if? What if, what if, what if? I wouldn't, I know I'm not going to get separated because I'm not one that ventures off on my own to do anything. So it's, it's all those irrational thoughts that for the life of me I cannot think of right now to give you a perfect example of, which sucks because normally I can come up with them off the top of my head. I have not been able to work since 2014 when I left that job that I mentioned in my previous video. Now, I guess you guys are questioning why I didn't do a lawsuit against this woman. For one, leaving my medical information laid out where everyone that worked there could read. Well, yeah, you're right. I probably could have. I probably should have. But I did not emotionally think that I could go through with it. Or handle going through a trial or court hearings, whatever would proceed from that. Because, one, this woman made my one absolute positive fear come to life. And that was simply the fact that someone would treat me differently because they found out something was wrong with me. Now, this is one person in the hundreds of people that I have encountered in my life that have known that I have problems. Now, my anxiety was not an issue before this. But I did suffer from depression, and I did suffer from a mood disorder. Sadly, with my mood disorder, I have no common ground. It's I'm happy-go-lucky, and 60 seconds flat, I could be pissed off, ready to cuss you up one side and down the other. Do I get physical? No, I am not a physical person. I am more in the situation of fight or flight. I'll run because I don't want to hurt people. That's not who I am as a person. But if you make me, I will. I mean, everybody will. No one's going to sit there and take it. Whoops, sorry about that one. So, dealing with all of this and, not knowing how to process it. Because facing your worst fear, how do you do it? How on God's green earth do you manage to face your worst fear? How do you do it? Me, I didn't face it very well. I let everything overcome me. And I don't process more than one emotion very well. So if I'm emotionally overwhelmed, I basically shut down. And sadly, the only way that I can process through anything is I have to focus on the pain. And when focusing on the pain, I had to do something to make physical pain. which is where the cutting began. But then it got to the point where that wasn't working anymore. So I had to make a choice for myself. So I quit that job. Now don't get me wrong, the cutting did not quit. It wasn't an instantaneous fix to, everything. Nothing. Huh? You can see one of my little puppies back there in the background. That's Fluff. Sorry about that. Distracted. Easily done with me. But yeah, my anxiety is so much better, but it has been such a long road. So if you're out there and you're dealing with the debilitating anxiety right now, know that if you go get help and you seek medical help, there is medications out there that work wonders. Not instantaneously. It takes a while. I'm to the point now where I can go out and I can do things. Do I want to go out and do things? No. That fear of someone finding out and treating me like she did is still there. And I'm sure it's going to be there for the rest of my life. But, like I said, that's why my worst fear. It came to life, and I survived it. Not very well, but I did survive it. And you can survive yours. You can survive this anxiety that's feels like you got a 2-ton elephant sitting on your chest, or however it manifests for you. You can survive it. You can get help with it. And you can work through it. I myself feel so much more better and more like myself now than I ever thought I could after everything happened. Am I 100% back to me? No. Do I ever think I will be? No. Because things change people. Events change people. Dramatic events change you. And that dramatic event changed me. Am I glad I went through it? Lord, no. No. Am I sure that these videos are going to help somebody? I don't know. I hope so. If nothing else, you'll have information to contact me. And, maybe I could talk to you a little bit one-on-one. Or, let you know where you can go get help. Well, at least in southeastern Kentucky, I know where you can go get help. Because that's where I go. But I'm sure that every state and every city and every town has somewhere that you can go to get help. Just know you're not alone out there in facing these problems. Know you have people out there who are going through the same things you're going through, but different, because everybody's different. Nobody's a the same. Identical twins aren't even the same. They may look like they are, but they're each gonna have their own personality and how they deal with things. And sorry, I talk with my hands. But I want to help people. That's all I'm doing with these videos, and letting you know that you can get back out in the world and you can have a life. You can retake your life from anxiety. Do I think that my anxiety is going to be gone 100%? No. Because like I said before, my anxiety has always been there. I controlled it though. And I am going to get back to the point that I control the anxiety. The anxiety doesn't control me. I have already taken great leaps and bounds to get to that point. And you can too. You just can't give up. You cannot give up. There is no reason for you to give up. You know, you're meant to be here for one reason or another. You are meant to be here. Maybe I'm meant to be here to do these videos. I don't know. But you're meant to be here. Always remember, you are meant to be in this world, or you would not have been created. And always, always remember, there are people out there who love you and who need you in their life. You may not feel like it, but there are people who need you. Always remember that. Because you are important as a person. No matter what you've done, no matter where you are, no matter what, you are important. You have people who love you. You have people who need you. Never forget that. And I know that's hard to, I know that is hard to believe. Because believe me, my head has told me a billion times, you don't, nobody cares about you. Nobody wants you around. Nobody wants to be filled with you. Nah, it's not true. Don't believe it. But I think I'm going to finish up with that for now. I'll see you in my next video in the next day or so. Hopefully you guys are out there and watching, and I'm helping you. But until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks.